without any further ado, I want to welcome the first speaker for today, in the person of Sadiq Ajala. So Sadiq Ajala is the co-founder and the COO, Chief Operating Officer of Brainstack Academy. So Sadiq Ajala will be, I want to share his screen with you, my screen with you, so that you can see what he'll be talking about. So this is like the agenda of this session. So Sadiq will be talking about content marketing, what it really entails. So like he'll be giving us an insight into what content marketing really entails, like sharing his own personal experience, giving us examples and all those, so that we can really understand the concepts of content marketing. So I'm pleased to welcome to our midst, and I would like him to take on from here. Yeah, Sadiq.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. That's literally the very funny way almost everyone starts, this kind of online conversation. So thanks for having me, speaking to the host. Yes, my name is Ajala Sadiq. I am the co-founder at Brainstack Academy, and I'm a content marketer, a technical SEO specialist. I do both on a very high level. So today, I'm going to speak on some of these very pressing questions that newbie content marketers always have at the top of their heads, trying to fit in. You see several people on LinkedIn today, their header or their title on LinkedIn will be content marketer, and tomorrow you see content strategist, and the day after tomorrow you see content writer, and then in 2 weeks' time, you see copywriter, they just jumping all over the field. And this is always happening because they do not know exactly where they fit in. They do not know exactly what they are doing. So they felt by calling themselves, everything would matter. And to some that do not even feel that by calling themselves anything would matter, they just feel that, okay, since this person is using this header, and the person is kind of making impact or making waves on LinkedIn or any other social media platforms, they feel that's the next header to use, so that just go over to their own profile and then edit it that way. And I'm sorry to shock you that that's not the way it works, because content marketing is broad, but it has its own peculiarities, its own difference. And in this conversation, those are the key things that I'm going to address. Yeah. So at the beginning, sorry, is it okay for me to share my screen? Wow.
I muted myself. Sorry. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. So you guys can see my screen right away. Okay. So let's start by saying content marketing. What exactly does content marketing mean? From a very good point of view, and if you ask, anyone, they might start telling you those complex English putting words together that you're not ready to listen to. But what content marketing really means is creating content for the purpose of marketing. So if anyone gives a different explanation, speaking those big grammar, I think it would be very sensible for you to break that grammar down. And I can assure you that by the time you do that, what you would get is that content marketing in itself is the strategic creation and sharing of content for the sole purpose of marketing. And by content, I do not mean written content alone. Could be video content, could be audio content, could be design as a content, could be, as much as it can be. As a matter of fact, if you take it outside the online world, dancing in itself could be a content, as long as you are communicating it in a certain way. So if you now do that, so the marketing aspect of it, you cannot find a way of mixing it together. But in the online world, content is literally video, audio, and video, audio, and of course, written content. So content marketing, just to recap again, is the creation and the sharing of content for the purpose of marketing. And there's a key question that most people ask. And for about 3 years, I did content marketing solely on LinkedIn. And then, when I speak to clients and clients say that, why should I pay you so amount of money while I can, do ads? And then I I struggled with that question for about 2, 3 months until I was able to like jump on a call with a friend who was able to like help me answer that question on a call. And then from that call, I I had the answer to like give to my client. So when my client says, why don't I even like just do ads, instead? And I was like, yeah, it's a game of choice. You can like do ads, but I can assure you that with ads, aside the fact that we are going to like pay times 10 or even much more than that I'm going to like give to you, you are going to like lose touch with your audience, because ads will just pop it on people's face. Either they need it or they do not need it. You can like have an instance of you just sitting in front of your TV, you know, and then an ad just pops up. You might not even want to see that ads, right? But it's just going to like pop into your face, and my dear, you have no choice than to like just, watch that ad at that point in time. So content marketing is totally different from ads in the sense that advertisement is merely to promote a product or service. So they just bump into your face, you look at it, you watch it for that so minutes, and then you are out. Rather, content marketing in itself, it's for you to like develop relationship with your target audience. You at every point in time, and almost 100% basics, giving them what they want at the exact time that they want it. And that's the reason if you see a content marketer that understands its job, they always have a segment for their clients, for their target audience. So if I'm like writing for anyone, I would know that okay, these people are at this level, at the awareness level of my content marketing. So what they need to do is to like just know about the product. And then I know that the second level after the awareness level is the consideration level. Like these people already know what the product is about, but they need a certain level of conviction to like help them, you know, decide or consider that product or that service. And of course, the third stage is the decision making stage, when they say, I think this is the product I should go for. So that's the difference between content marketing and advertisements. And many people ask the question that, so if I'm going to like start doing content marketing, how does that work? So if I decide to like put my profile on LinkedIn as content marketer, what would I be doing? What are the kind of services that I should be offering my clients? So it's pretty simple. You have to know that content marketing works by offering readers with informative content, with helpful materials that would provide insights to them regarding whatever subject matter it is, that would give them value. It's about basically teaching them, educating your readers, helping them understand some of the key things that they need to understand about certain products or service. And this enlightening, this giving insights, this value, can be in at different stages, just as I mentioned the other time, could be at the level of awareness, like trying to like explain to them, just as this kind of content we're creating at this point in time, saying content marketing 101, what does it really mean, is at the awareness stage, for people to understand, okay, so this is like the nitty gritty about, content marketing. So at the second level of content marketing, the second level of content marketing, you would, you would be thinking something lots more than this. So the way content marketing really works is by providing your readers with informative and helpful content that provides insights, value to them. And there are several types of content marketing. I think I've mentioned that here all the time. Like if you start doing video, it's a way of creating, it's a type of content. And say I'm like doing videos to like market certain products, so that is one type of content marketing. If I start doing podcasts to like market certain products, it's also a form of content marketing, written contents by like having a blog, writing on social media, etc. Those are the written forms of content marketing. And of course, you could even do content marketing in form of designs, right? Like just if you're very good with designs, you could design infographics, do all of those. And in the areas of written, and one of the reasons I love the written part of content marketing is that it's an ocean that you can always specialize in. That thousands of content types that you can create. You can start creating case studies, start writing ebooks, start creating checklists, all of these, the type of content that you can create that are associated with content marketing. Just the key thing that you have to know is that by content marketing, okay, no, I wouldn't speak that right now. So let's move to the next. So I'm going to like give you real examples of content marketing, real life examples of content marketing. So you would notice that one of the things that happen, and one very good trendy example that I think I should give is this lady that that cooked for 1 million days. What's his name? Hilda Basi, I guess. Right. You would notice that when this lady started like raining, there are lots of brands that like, created, say, graphics with a pictures on it, and then using that as a form of like, promotion for their products. Say, I don't know, like something in form of a motivational, statement that, if you that can do so this, don't give up on so this, right? So those people like doing that, they are just taking advantage of that trend to like just slot in that to provide value, to provide insight to their target audience and like make things in a much more relatable way. And most of the companies that like do, real life content marketing very well are the likes of Wise. I think Wise does very good when it comes to content marketing. This brand, I'm trying to like remember, there's this brand, GeekPay. GeekPay also do very well in terms of content marketing. One of the emails that I received, I think a couple of days ago, was that because they are in the service of helping freelancers receive their money from, receive their salary from, foreign companies. So they decide to like, collaborate with someone who is a top freelancer on Upwork to teach to teach their target audience who are freelancers on how to, get gigs that will like help them drive money. So what GitPay is trying to like do is that because they know that their target audience are freelancers, people that are working with that are working remotely, for international companies. And they feel that those target audience would be interested in knowing how they can better do well on platforms like Upwork, which is a freelancing platform to like get jobs that they can literally, make money from. So this content marketing strategy is that they are trying to like provide value, provide insights to their target audience regarding what they need, at the point they feel that these people need it. So most online companies are like doing very well with their most Nigerian companies and most of these tech companies, like I think Kodo Realty also does that very well. They have like very good content marketing strategy. And there's this brand that I'm trying to remember, but I don't know why like keeps keeps flying off my head. But for sure, the likes of Cowrywise, Paystack, Flutterwave, they do content marketing very well. And like those are like some real life examples, particularly of Nigerian brands that like you should check out when it comes to like content marketing. And also one key question that most people ask is that is content writing and content marketing the same thing? Absolutely not. They are not the same thing. So it's, I would say content writing is like purely the creation of written content. That's all. So I may be a content writer, and if I'm a freelance content writer, anyone can come to me and say, I need to like create content on this topic. Just send me the topic and then I'll like just do the writing. I may not know about the strategy at the back of it, right? As long as you've come to me to create a content for you, and then you've mentioned the topic to me. By doing that, I can like create that content for you. So content creation is, literally just writing content and that's all. But content marketing is the strategic decision of the 5 W's and H of content. So what do I mean by the 5 W's and H of content? A content marketer will think about those before creating content like so topic. Why am I creating this topic? Why do I need to like, write content on this topic? Who am I writing it for? Right? So by who might not necessarily mean my target audience overall, could be my target audience at a certain level of my funnel. So they could be those that are at the decision making level. So if I'm creating a content for those at the decision making level, I'm speaking to them like as if they already, know my product because they passed through the awareness and the consideration state of my products, right? So who am I creating it to? Where am I, publishing this content? So when exactly am I publishing it? So 2 3 weeks ago, if 2 3 months ago, if anyone had created a content about Hilda Bassi, it wouldn't make any sense, right? Because that like wasn't the right time, to create such kind of content. So knowing when, knowing where to like put that content, knowing who the target audience is, knowing what the content should be about, those strategic spectrum of creating content is exactly the root of content marketing as opposed to just writing content. Also, people ask the question of, is content marketing the same as copywriting? No, they are also very different. So if you are the type that would say today you are a content writer, tomorrow you are a content strategist, the day after tomorrow you are a content marketer, and today you are a copywriter, and like just mixing everything up, I can assure you that you are just confusing your your audience. There are lots different. So content marketing is not the same as copywriting because content marketing in itself is for you to like educate, entertain, nurture your client, nurture your target audience, trying to like, it's like the 100% example that most people will give about dating. Whenever people talk about content marketing, they talk about dating. The first time you meet a lady, you're like trying to like know that lady and like get that lady to like know you. That's like the first stage. So, the awareness stage, before you now take them to the, so you wouldn't meet a lady today and be like, babe, I need you to like marry me, like trying to like persuade them to marry them at that spot. It's almost always impossible, right? So content marketing is, the nurturing phase, talking to people, trying to like provide content, in an educating way, in a motivational way, in an entertaining way, etc. Why copywriting is basically about persuading your target audience to like take specific action, right? And that's the reason, copywriting can come in, lots of interesting ways, like telling particular story that like relate to something and then getting people to like take a specific action at the end of it all. So content marketing is about providing value, insight, and all of those. Why copywriting is about, trying to like find a way of like creating that write-up in such a psychological way, because it's more about, the psychology, like trying to like play with, trying to like interact with your target audience psychology so that they can like take certain action. So is YouTube a form of content marketing? Yes, if it is strategically planned. YouTube video, that video could be a form of content marketing. So today I will talk about how to like the types of phone that are available in Nigeria, and then tomorrow I'll tell you some of the features of like these phones, right? That's like nurturing. And then the day after tomorrow, like started showing you some of the features that like these phones have. And then maybe the day after tomorrow, I started talking about the prices of this phone, like, and then start advising you on which to take. So YouTube, yes, as a form of as a platform where video content is being created, could also be a form of content marketing. And because Google also owns YouTube, that's the reason there are some searches that you would make on Google that would like, show you videos. So yes, that's a form of content marketing. Another is social media marketing and content marketing, the same thing. Social media marketing and content marketing, cool. I would say, and like this is being me, maybe if you like read other experts online, something might be different. But for me, I would say they are not the same. And of course, you can also say that they are the same. And I'm going to like explain. So social media marketing is literally doing the marketing that you are doing normally, like the content creation and all of this, and then just amplifying it and like posting it on social media. So take for instance, if I want to start selling, say, air conditioners, for instance, right? I could create a solid, content marketing strategy, and I start implementing it on certain social media channels, right? Trying to like follow the face. Like today, I'm like talking about topics that are related to like the awareness stage, and tomorrow, after some, so maybe after 2 or 3 weeks, like start creating content based on so. But social media could like just be different because you might not be able to 100%, own your audience. But if your strategy is being created right, you could also start collecting emails if there's a way that you can do that, and start nurturing your target audience from a top level manner. And then you start segmenting them so that you know how to properly communicate with them. And then I think this is like almost the last, is that is SEO the same thing as content marketing? Yes. I I think this response would also be like that of social media, because SEO is literally search engine optimization, right? And then I could be doing content marketing, and if I feel that to rank, on Google my is not my priority, quote and unquote, right? I could do my content marketing and totally leave like SEO aside. But that means that I do not have any interest in getting people from Google. You understand? Getting traffic come to my site via through Google. But it is always very important. And most times content marketing and SEO are always, related. And I could say this like 90% of the time they are always together, because your essence of creating a content marketing strategy, like the essence of trying to like create a segment for your audience, is so that you know the keyword or like their pain points, and knowing what you want to like hammer on, and knowing what they would likely go on Google to like search for. So 90% of the time, as a content marketer, you are always looking at, SEO and like seeing how you can better rank your content so that Google can like show it to their own users. And that way you could like direct traffic to that site. So yeah, that is that as regards that. I think, okay, I spent just 2 minutes out of, the time allocated to me. I'm trying not to like miss that 30 minutes. So questions, you can like start writing down your questions, and when we get to like the question and answer section, we can like start answering them. So thank you very much. Abigeni, taking the baton back to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sadiq. I really appreciate you for the insights that you shared over there about content marketing and how it is different from all those other forms of marketing that people think, like SEO, copywriting, advertising, social media marketing, YouTube, and so on and so forth. So I really appreciate you for sharing all those. And I think one of the things that you mentioned, which I also like to buttress before we move on to the next part of the agenda, is the fact that content marketing is different from ads. So a lot of people think that content marketing is all about selling. So you want to sell. So, but the goal of content marketing is not just to sell. The goal of content marketing is to educate. So you want to educate, you want to entertain, you want to inspire, so that in the long run, people will trust you and sorry, they will know you first and foremost, then they will like you, and eventually they will trust you. So like that's the overall essence. And like he mentioned, I think he cited the example of so like what she did during that, I think about 4 days or 5 days, is more or less like content marketing, like a way of letting people to know about her brand, even though she did it in an unusual way. So, but it's a way most people that don't know her before now, they know her that she's a chef and she can cook and she has passion for cooking. So, like she has used a form of content marketing. She never ran any ads, so, but she used a form of content marketing to let people know her. Then from that knowing her, they liked her. And now I think a lot of Nigerians trust her and they will be willing to invite her to maybe cook for them for their next occasion or anything like that. So, and one thing I also wanted to share, I recently came across this tweet is by, there's this guy, Bruno, on Twitter. So maybe you might probably know him. So he said this tweet some days ago. So I think you can see the tweet here. So the tweet says, most of the products I've bought online, I consume their content first. Thinking back, I have not bought anything from an ad in a while. I've paid for almost 10 different programs worth more than 10K dollars, and I've bought the same way all the time. I first consume their content before I buy their product. I've never bought from their ad. Is this just me? And if you go through the comments, you see that a lot of people that, like, most of the comments, like, they were people who say that yes, they don't ads don't build trust, content does. And before they buy anything from anyone, they first and foremost consume their content before they now decide if they want to, like, they want to buy or anything like that. So this just buttresses the fact that, like, content marketing is not just ads. Okay, so you are not just selling, but you are trying to educate. So you build trust so that eventually when people are ready to buy, they will most likely want to buy from you. So that is it for that. So the next part of the presentation is about content marketing careers and opportunities. And I'll be the one to take that in the next 15 minutes or so. So, like, what are the content marketing careers and opportunities? I'm trying, let me share my screen. So I believe you all can see my screen now. Yeah. So career paths and opportunities in content marketing. So, like, what are the career paths now that you know about content marketing, the importance and everything like that? So what are the career paths? Let's assume that you want to become a content marketer. Like, how do you go about it? So the first part here is just a brief introduction. So I think I don't really need to go back again. I've done that in the beginning of this session. So I'm the co-founder and CEO of Brainstack Academy. And over the years, I have over 7 years experience in content marketing. And over the years, I've published and featured on publications like Entrepreneur, FinTech Post, and so on. So the first thing I would like to touch here is about what does a content marketer really do? Like, that's the question that you might have. Like, okay, if you're a content marketer, like, what do you actually do? So the first thing is you need to know that a content marketer understands the business goals. So, like, this is one of the reasons why content marketing is different from content writing. So I remember vividly when I started content writing, like, while I was an undergraduate, like, a friend of mine was outsourcing some articles to me. So, like, some of the things that I wrote then, I don't even know how that really relates to a business. So, like, because I was just a content writer, I was just about writing content. So, not really, I care less about what does the content actually do. So, but a content marketer is not like that. So the first thing is, as a content marketer, you need to understand the business goals. So, like, that's the first thing. Then the second thing, a content marketer educates through content. So you educate your audience. You are not just selling to them. You start by educating the audience, and that could be through any form of content that, as Sadiq has mentioned. So you have writing, could be a content, a blog post, an ebook, a YouTube, a presentation like this, a webinar, a live workshop could be a content. Like, we are trying to educate you now. So, like, that's what you are basically doing. So you educate the audience through content. Then also, a content marketer helps businesses get found. So you are not just there to create content for the sake of it. You are there to create content to achieve a specific business goal. So, and one of the goals of business is that they want to be found. They want, like, when people are searching for things, they appear, and that's the SEO part of it. So, like, that's one of the goals of content marketing. Also, content marketing, a content marketer, rather, you drive brand awareness. So you are creating awareness for the brand. You are not just there to create content that doesn't really have any impact. So you are creating awareness for the brand. That's also another thing that a content marketer does. And finally, a content marketer converts leads into customers. So, like, you are not just creating content so that people will read alone. You are not just creating videos so that people will just watch and entertain themselves. You are trying to do all this with an ultimate goal. And what is the goal? You want to convert leads, or you want to convert readers, you want to convert them into customers. So, like, these are the basic things that a content marketer do. Now, another thing I would like to touch on is, what are the top skills you need to succeed as a content marketer? So let's assume that you have an interest in becoming a content marketer, or maybe probably you are already positioning yourself as a content marketer and you are unsure if you are doing the right thing. So, what are the top skills that you need if you really want to succeed as a content marketer? So, some of the top skills you need, you have content writing. So, like, is one of the skills you need to succeed as a content marketer. You must know how to write content. So, because written content is the foundation of other forms of content. So, let's say you are creating YouTube videos now. Most YouTube videos that you see out there, they don't just come out and create it. Like, they don't just come out and shoot the video. They take time to write out the script before they now decide that they want to shoot the video. And the same is applicable to other forms of content. So, like, that is why the first skill that you need as a content marketer is content writing. So you must know how to write. Like, that is very important. Then storytelling is also another skill you need as a content marketer. You must know how to tell stories. You must know how to relate events. You must know how to tie things together. So, like, it's not about stories like, let's say, once upon a time, this and that. So it's not those types of stories. Like, it's just stories that just kind of relate events together. So you try to let people know why they should read this content. You try to convince them. You try to bring them in. You try to let them see themselves as if they are, like, they let them see themselves in, maybe you are promoting a product. You try to find a way to convince them so that they will see themselves reading that product, like using that product or service. So, like, that's also another thing. Storytelling. Another skill you need as a content marketer is critical thinking. So a content marketer should be able and should be ready to think critically. So you should not just accept things because someone said so. You should accept things because you are convinced that this is how it should be. So you should be able to think, you should be able to bring things together and not just, like, accept things hook, line, and sinker. So you have critical thinking is very important. Then analytics is also another thing, because as a content marketer, eventually, depending on the route that you take, so eventually you need to analyze, because this is all about business. So businesses, they care about results. So they want to show you what they want you to show them. What is the ROI? Like, this thing that you've done, the content that you created for us, the blog post that you wrote, the YouTube videos that that you shoot. Like, what is the ROI? Like, how are we measuring it? Are people really responding to it and all those things? So, Like analytics is also a very important skill you need to succeed as a content marketer. And we also have research. So you should be very good with research if you want to succeed as a content marketer. So you should know how to research and know how to use Google very well. Very, very important. So you know how to Google stuff, know how to use Google, not just Google, know how to research things beyond Google. So these days we have Chat GPT and all those. So you should know how to use all those tools, those research tools, to make your work easier. So now moving on, let's go on to like what are the career paths in content marketing. So like if you decide to become a content marketer, what portfolio or what role might you eventually end up with? So there are a lot of roles, content marketing roles that we have. So as you can see from the screen, you have a content marketing manager. So you could become a content marketing manager. So like in most companies, content marketing manager is the foundation for the content marketing department. So a lot of content companies, when they want to hire a content marketer, they typically start from content marketing manager. So like that is the first thing. So a content marketing manager, most times you are the one responsible for creating blog content and other things like that, SEO and so on. So like that is the content marketing manager. They also have the content marketing strategy. So the strategy is also a content marketer, but he's different from a manager because he's more about the strategic part. So he's the one doing the thinking, like, okay, we want to create this content. Like, what is the essence of creating the content? Or if it is SEO, like he creates the SEO strategy, he write the content briefs, he creates the outline and do all those things. So like that is the strategist. So we also have content marketing specialists. So some of these things are similar depending on the company that you are in or the role you are applying for. So, but a content marketing specialist in most companies is for like maybe they have the different departments or the different arms in their content marketing department. So the content marketing specialist will most likely be the person responsible for creating written content. So that is that. Then we also have content marketing coordinator. So like this usually happens depending on the company. So like the coordinator might be the one just coordinating everything to ensure that it is going on fine. And in some companies, the content marketing coordinator might just be in charge of like doing some stuff to ensure that everything goes on fine. So, like maybe for instance, I saw a recent job ad whereby the content marketing coordinator will be the one to create products, to take product screenshots and create stories around them so that when the writers finish creating the content, the coordinator will be the one to like ensure that everything is seamless and smooth. So we also have a content marketing editor. So the editor, we all know what the editor does, but just ensure that any type of content that they create is awesome. And the final one we have here is head of content. So like this is the person in charge of like the content marketing department. So he's the one, depending on the company. So but in most companies, like the person will be the head of the content marketing department, and the person will most likely be reporting to maybe the VP of marketing and maybe the director of marketing, or even in some cases the CMO. So it all depends, the chief marketing officer. So like those are some of the career paths in content marketing. But if you are just getting started, like the most likely career path or the most likely role you will get is a content marketing manager. So if you are just getting started. So now we are almost done. So now the question that might come to your mind is how can you become a content marketer? Well, there are a lot of ways you can become a content marketer. I want to walk through some of those here. So you can read blogs on content marketing. So there are a lot of blogs so about content marketing out there. So you can read them to familiarize yourself with the concept of content marketing and to also know about some frameworks, some concepts in content marketing. So we have Ahrefs is one of those blogs. We have Animals is one of those blogs. We have Grow and Convert is also one of those blogs. We also have Foundation Inc. So these are some of the best blogs that you see out there about content marketing. So you can consume their content to learn more about content marketing. Then we also have, you can join online communities. So there are a lot of communities you can join these days. We have Reddit, so you can join subreddits, those related to content marketing. We also have Facebook groups. So there are a lot of Facebook groups about content marketing. You can join those communities to see what they are talking about and to also learn from the discussions going on there. They also have Slack channels. So this is one of my most favorite ways of learning content marketing these days. So Slack channels. So there are a lot of Slack channels about content marketing. So you can join those. Then we also have newsletters. So there are a lot of newsletters as well about content marketing. So you can join those newsletters to learn content marketing. Then watch YouTube videos. So there are a lot of YouTube videos about content marketing. So you can watch them. So some channels that I recommend, you have Ahrefs. I've mentioned them previously. Their YouTube channel is awesome. So for learning content marketing, you have Brandin. So he's the founder of Backlinko. So his YouTube channel is also good for learning content marketing. They also have Simply Learn. So their YouTube channel has different courses and content marketing is part of it. Then you also have HubSpot marketing. So it's a very good channel as well to learn content marketing. So you can also follow experts on social media. So there are a lot of experts on social media platforms, but the three recommended social media channels I believe you can learn content marketing from LinkedIn. Like that's the most recommended. There are a lot of experts there, so you can learn content marketing from them. Then we have Twitter as well. You can learn content marketing on Twitter, and you have Facebook. So you get some insights from Facebook as well, even though I would say LinkedIn and Twitter are like the most likely sources where you get experts talking about content marketing. And then we have, you can take content marketing courses. So you have a lot of courses like Content Marketing Institute. They have a course on content marketing. You have Ahrefs Blogging for Business. They also have a course on content marketing. You have SEMrush Academy. They have courses on content marketing rather. They have LinkedIn Learning. So LinkedIn Learning also has courses on content marketing. So out of these, the first three are free, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But LinkedIn Learning, you need a subscription to LinkedIn Premium so that you can take the courses. But I think they also have free courses. So, but some of them might not be for content marketing. And so now moving forward, so learning content marketing in Nigeria, my personal experience, I will skip this, but like just the summary is that when I started content marketing, most of the things I did is like what I've outlined here. So like I read blogs on content marketing, I joined online communities, I watched YouTube videos, I followed experts on social media, I took content marketing courses. Like that's more like that summary of what I did. But the problem is that while I did all those, I was stuck. Okay. Even though I was learning, but I didn't really know what let me know I didn't really know what I was doing, but I struggled to translate that learning into practice. So I struggled to translate that learning into practice. So for instance, one of the courses I took when I started this Ahrefs blogging for business. Okay? So, but one of the things is that Ahrefs will tell you the creator of the course team, Saulo. So we tell you how like a lot of things you need to do, which are very like effective. So, but the problem is I didn't really know how to apply them. So I just had the theory in mind, but it was really difficult to practicalize, which is a route that a lot of content marketers in Nigeria take. So the only time I actually got it was when I paid for some courses about content marketing from some expert that I respect. So that was when I started getting what I was really doing. But like if you were to learn content marketing on your own, like these are the steps I would recommend. I took them. So but I would just say the only challenge is that you might not really know how to connect what you have learned into practice. So you might really find it difficult to say, okay, I've learned this. How do I connect this into something that is useful for me? So, and which is a challenge that, as I said, a lot of content marketers in Nigeria face. That's why, as Sadiq mentioned, you see some people today, they will say they're content marketer. Tomorrow they say they're content strategist. The next day, they will say the copywriter. The next time you see them, they might say they're content editor. and product-led content and expert and so on and so forth. So, and that's because they are taking their knowledge from different sources. And even though like the knowledge is valuable, but you really find it difficult to connect all those things together. And that's the challenge that a lot of people take. So face rather. So now you might ask yourself, where can you learn content marketing in Nigeria? So one thing I didn't mention is most of these resources I shared here. So they are like most of them are not Nigerians. So they are abroad, like they're experts, so maybe based in the US, UK, Europe, and so on. So, but if you're in Nigeria, you might be wondering, okay, I'm here in Nigeria. Where exactly can I learn content marketing in Nigeria? Well, I can't really say, but I think there are a lot of courses out there that you can take about content marketing. So, but I have not taken any of them, so I can't really rate them. So, and that is why the one thing we also wanted to share with you, like today, is the fellowship that we are introducing. So, someone reached out to me yesterday, and I also shared it with him. So, we are introducing this content marketing fellowship for Africans. So, I mentioned that Brainstack Academy. So, it's an online digital marketing school. So, one of the first programs we want to create is this content marketing fellowship for Africans. Okay. So the Content Marketing Fellowship is a 3 months program, but is an intensive program. And we want it to be so because we don't just want people to take courses. I will share some insights with you shortly, but we want people to actually learn and to know what they've actually learned. So because one of the challenges, one of the things I've observed is that a lot of people, quote and unquote, who call themselves content marketers in Nigeria, like most people don't really understand the concept of content marketing, especially when it comes to business. So content marketing for business is different from content marketing for individuals. Okay, you can be posting on your LinkedIn, on Instagram, Twitter. Of course, you are doing content marketing, but how are you translating all those things into business? So, like, that is exactly what we really want to share with you. Like, when people talk about content marketing, when companies, brands, when they want to hire for content marketing, so like, what are they looking for? So that is what like the content marketing fellowship is for. So it's a 3 months program. So and you can see here, like these are the features that you get from the program. So we have is a cohort-based course. What that means is that we are not sending you videos. So like this is also something I struggle with. There are a lot of videos that are there, a lot of courses that I've signed up for, even paid for. I didn't have time to watch any video. So so cohort based. So it's a cohort based program. So it's a live program, even though we record, but it's like we want everybody to attend live and learn. Like so it is structured. So we'll tell you like this is what to learn in week 1, week 2, up till the end of the program. Then it also includes mentorship. So you're not just learning and figuring out everything on your head. So you not just learn, okay, you do keyword research, you now be wondering, keyword research, how do I do it? What are the tools that I can use and all those things? So it's not like that. Then it's also practical sessions. So you're also learning and you're also practicing. So let's say, for instance, one of the tools that content marketers use is Google Search Console. But unfortunately, a lot of people that call themselves content marketers, they don't know how to use Google Search Console. It's not their fault because they just learned, but they didn't practice. Okay. And even a lot of content marketers, if you've never had a client or you don't have your own blog, you don't have your own website, you cannot know how all those things work. You only be seeing the screenshots or the video walkthroughs, so you don't know how they work. So, like, one of the things we want to do with this program is we want it to be practical. So, if we say this tool, we'll show you how to use it. We also ask you to also use it so that you learn, like you learn on the go. Then it also has a monetization part. So, one thing we're also doing is like after learning, we'll most likely have internship opportunities, and most likely if you perform excellently, you also have job opportunities, and also see how we could merge you, like connect you with opportunities maybe in Nigeria and outside. So like and so I'm almost done. So you might be wondering, like, if you want to join this content marketing fellowship. So this is the first cohort. So we are starting very soon. So how do you join? Like the first step is the application. So we have an application process. So we share how that works with you if you are interested. So that's the application. So after you apply, so not everybody that applied that will eventually be accepted into the fellowship, because we want the best fit people. We don't want anybody. We want people that are really interested and they are motivated to do the work. So that's the first part. So you apply, then we assess you using in-house assessments, and we feel that you are ready to go. We feel that you have the capacity. Of course, we will accept you into the fellowship. So it's a paid fellowship actually, but now is not the time to talk about how much it costs. So, but the first step is the application. So it's also a paid application, by the way. So once you apply, we send the assessment to you. You take the assessment, and if you are qualified, you have an onboarding process slash interview process. Then before we bring you on board into the fellowship. So like that is just it. I hope I've been able to like share some insights with you about content marketing. So like, what are the career paths available? How do you get started as a content marketer? And if you're in Nigeria, like, and you are confused about getting started with content marketing, so like, this is it. So I really appreciate you for your time. And even though we are on top of the hour right now, so we'll maybe take the next few minutes to answer any questions that you have. So if you have any question, you can type it in the chat bar, or maybe if you prefer to speak, you can unmute yourself and ask the question, and I or Sadiq will respond to it. Thank you very much. Okay, there's a question here like, how much does the fellowship cost? So the first thing is the application. Okay, so the application costs just 1,000 naira to apply. So the application costs 1,000 naira. So once you apply and you are accepted, like after the assessment, you are accepted, then like, the cost of the fellowship and everything will be known to you. But one thing I can assure you is that, like, we are not charging you an arm and a leg. We are making it easy for you, and I believe like you get value for your money. So but the first step is the application, that is 1,000 naira. So, and yes, that's it. Any other question? So if you have questions about what we've shared about content marketing, aside from the fellowship, like, we are not here to just sell the fellowship to you. And that's why I shared all those resources with you. So if you can get started today, these are the resources I share with people that reach out to me that they want to start content marketing. So like, you can make use of these resources on your own. Like, we are absolutely fine with that.
Thank you very much for getting. Yeah, I don't think we are like getting questions. I just like have one little thing to add before we like wrap up everything, and
Okay.
that is the fact that I I can beat my chest that more than 30 people would have reached out to me that like teach me this content marketing thing, right? And then when you send them materials, they never come back. And I can 100% relate to these people because I've also been there, right? I could like assure you that I did not learn, content marketing by watching any video, by taking any course, by nothing. It was Akide Abdul Hafiz that taught me how to write. You understand? He literally held me by the hands. And when we were in school, what was I? I was only writing poems when I was in school, right? And then when I complained to him at that point in time that I'm getting sick of my job, that I need to change my job, it was like, do you know that you can write for a living? I did not believe him until when I started making millions writing, you know? So it literally held me by the hand. So the only thing that and this is like a, a startup for whatever it's here. If you know that you are not, ready to do the work, if you know that you're not ready to like try, because I believe that anybody can write. You pass English now, so you can like, since you pass English, you can write. You just put it together. You can write comprehension. You can answer questions if somebody asks you a question in English language, right? So if you can do that, I think anyone can write. You just have to like understand the science and the art of writing. So as I was saying, I actually literally held my hand for 3 months saying, this is what you should do. When I write and I go back to him, he would comment and say, no, go back and like do this. And before I know it, I was able to like, figure things out myself. And taking courses was now a lot easier for me because I already know what to write. And then I already know that I can like make money doing these things. And I think that was about close to 10 years ago, right? So these days is now open. Everybody knows that you can like make money writing. But the only thing that people do not still get up to today is that if you start the course, go and take some O's HREV, blogging for business course. And I assure you that you are most likely not to finish it. And if you finish it, you are most likely not to like, understand the way forward. So for me, I believe from personal experience that mentorship is the exact way to, to go. So in the absence of no questions, I think we should wrap things up at the beginning. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. Thank for sharing those insights. So, and in the absence of questions, we can wrap things up. So, and as I mentioned in the beginning, so this is not the only live workshop that we'll be doing. We have more live workshops coming. Probably we might have another one in the next week or upper week. So, but we have more live workshops coming, and we also will need your support, like as Greenstack Academy. So this is a new company, and we are currently working on spreading the message out there so that more people will know about what we do. So, like, there are different ways you can support us. So, we have our website. You can check brainstack.academy. So, that's our website. Then we also have a Telegram community that you can join. So, and then, but definitely for those of you that are registered for this workshop, you'll get more emails from us on how you can support. So, I'm just saying this like this a new movement, so I will need your support, and we also need you to share the word out there so that people will also know that there's an online digital marketing school whereby they can learn digital marketing. So that is it. So, and also for those who are interested in applying for the content marketing fellowships, the application fee is just 1,000 naira. So just send a text message or a WhatsApp message to this number here in the message tab. We are that's 08029618370. So that's the number. Just send a WhatsApp message to it, and we'll take it off from there. So I in the absence of questions, I will be calling it a day for today. I would really appreciate everyone for showing up for this first edition of the Digital Marketing Live Workshop. We appreciate you for your time. We appreciate you for your patience. We appreciate you for listening to us, and we also appreciate you for cooperating with us. And we believe that hopefully you've learned something that will help you to shape your content marketing career, and also help you to think differently about content marketing and how you approach it. So thank you very much for your time. Have a wonderful evening ahead.